Update: my nightmare cousin is demanding I use my mother's inheritance money to pay for her luxurious wedding, and my aunt is manipulating me about. The wedding is off. The happy couple fought so much about the wedding plans they broke up. I talked to ex-fiancé last night. The story goes that they'd been fighting about the wedding costs for some time, and a big payment was due on the venue. They had to pay up or lose their initial deposit and booking. She wanted to pay without any idea where they were getting the rest. He wanted to cut their losses and lose the deposit. It all came to a big ugly head and he ended things entirely because she wouldn't back down. Hopefully, they stay broken up. I'm told they've broken up a few times before, so no guarantee this one sticks. Edit. I regret to inform you Courtney is back in my life and as absurd as ever. So it was a workday and I was waiting for a Zoom meeting with my intern. An unfamiliar account pops up in my personal waiting room, so I assume it's my intern trying from some other account she has. Big mistake. Up pops the window and there is cousin Courtney with a big smile on her face acting like we're somehow speaking. Now you're probably going to tell me I should have instantly booted her, and you'd be right. I should have. Boredom and curiosity got the better of me, and I knew getting rid of her was only a click or two away. She flat out pretended we were on great terms and started making socially awkward small talk. I humored this for a bit before asking her why she'd contacted me. Well, her parents are having their 50th wedding anniversary coming up soon, and she wants to do something special for them. They've always wanted to go on a cruise, and she wants to send them on one. So she starts blathering on about the cruise she's picked out, how amazing it will be, dream come true and blah 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 rainbows. So what does this have to do with me? Well, she knows things have been tense between us and she thinks my donating to the cruise would be a great way to reconcile. There was a long sales pitch of nonsense short. She wanted $2,000 from me to fund this. Even worse, she mentioned others she'd been asking to donate and included her half-sister in the list. Her half-sister was laid off in March. Asking me is a pointless waste of time. Asking her half-sister is downright cruel. I told her this flat out. She whined a lot about how I just don't understand what it means to be married and how important celebrating that is. Around when she was working herself up into tears, my intern managed to send me a connection request. I was very firm that I wouldn't be donating, asked her not to contact me at work ever again, hung up on cousin Courtney, and had a lovely chat with my intern. I was admittedly a little baffled by cousin Courtney even wanting to give her parents an expensive gift. She's never been known for being generous. I decided to call my gossip monger uncle who always knows everything and ask what he knew about this. Turns out she was soliciting the whole family for donations, and she was planning on going on the cruise with them. Worse, since she lost so much money in deposits when she canceled her wedding and something I didn't totally get involving an abandoned lease with the now ex since they're broken up, her gift was going to be planning everything. Everybody else donating was doing the paying for her dream cruise vacation with her parents. Suddenly the world makes perfect sense. Update 2. My nightmare cousin is demanding I use my mother's inheritance money to pay for her luxurious wedding, and my aunt is manipulating me about. Last we heard from cousin Courtney, she was trying to pull together a 50th wedding anniversary cruise for her parents, and her, and make me pay for a large chunk of it, despite the fact I had previously refused to help her with wedding donations. I wasn't down with that. She whined a lot about family and how important it is to celebrate a marriage that lasted this long. I blew her off. Well, hold on to your hats and glasses. Aunt Ellen and Uncle Dimwit aren't legally married. Uncle Dimwit is still legally married to the woman we all thought was his ex-wife and mother of cousin Courtney's half-sister, cousin Jessica. Yes, you read that right. They are having a 50th anniversary of having held a ceremony that was not a legal wedding and the groom is still to this day married to his ex-wife. This all came out because cousin Courtney apparently really was trying to send them, including her, on a cruise and found a cheaper option that was some kind of special deal for couples having a big anniversary. So she needed a copy of the marriage license. After a lot of awkwardness, they eventually had to admit they had none. The story goes that Uncle Dimwit's ex didn't want to go to the trouble of or pay for a divorce and he's too much of a dimwit to think to get one in absentia, so they just ignored that he was still married. He figured the ex would want to remarry one day and be willing to do the paperwork then. Aunt Ellen was in her we live in a commune and don't want the government in our lives flower child days, so had no objection to the wedding not being legal. Time passed and it never got handled. Nobody in the family ever knew. They thought they went to a real wedding. Pretty much everybody is really angry about being lied to for all these years. Cousin Courtney is completely thrown out of whack by this and fairly inconsolable. For once in my life I have some genuine sympathy for her. They've been lying to her for her whole life and it does actually have to be totally bewildering for her. I'm apparently still the black sheep because I should have somehow known and told cousin Courtney. How the hell was I supposed to know this? Why would I have ever checked on their marital status? My entire life I was told they were married. I saw wedding pictures. There's also a weird side of Aunt Ellen blaming me for her finding out because it never would have happened if I just donated to the more expensive cruise in the first place. Luckily I've successfully ducked cousin Courtney and the rest having drama about all this. I only know they're mad from emails I'm not replying to and chats with gossip monger uncle. This is the plan going forward. Do not engage with crazy.